Hey guys, it's Angel. Welcome back to the channel. And we're here today in beautiful Florida in the Everglades. In fact, at Everglades Air Park here, X-Ray 01. And we're flying through the Everglades Fantasy Scenery today by Salarsnet. I will link that in the description below for you. We're doing a resupply job and we're flying the Albatross, the G111, which is the modernized variant, if you will. Let's get ourselves ready to rock and roll here. We're on the ground. This is one of those planes that really intimidates you with how big it looks. Because it is huge. Chocks out. It's cool seeing the side doors open as well and the roof hatches. It really kind of makes you think about how big this is. Don't forget this is the one that was made by Mike Johnson, of course. I absolutely love this thing. My favourite seaplane in the sim. Now we can climb in by going to the back there. And opening the hatch here. And it lets us into the cockpit. Now, you want to control any of these hatches and doors, it's all via here. But whilst we're here, actually, I'm going to go for a bit of a trip back here. Into our main cabin. Never actually looked around in here before, so we are going to do now. What's that? Unspecified switch. I love those. It's probably for the lights. Most likely up there. So we've got these waist-high doors here under the windows. We've got galley space here. Our various lights report the starboard. Even a sink. Storage space in the back here. Some main cabin door. Don't think that opens. Is there anything back here? There isn't. So, no bathroom, which is of course always important. Let's get these closed up here. Let's get rid of our boarding ladder. And we'll get the aircraft ready to depart, which in our case involves batteries to on. Tanks are selected to main. Fuel booster pumps to on. Let's make sure our mixture's set. Our RPM is to full. Our throttles are cracked by about 1/4 inch. Magnetos to on. Let's make sure this is in, which is where it needs to be. Now, this should be a simple matter of give it a whiz. And then give it the biz. But it's not, because my battery, for some reason, is saying it's not. There we go. Batteries are on now. That's a big help. Give it a whiz, and give it the biz. Hold for about 15 seconds and it should ignite our engine. There we go. Left is on. Let's get right here. So the load on the amperage of the battery there when this one kicks on. Okie dokie. Roger, dodger, dodger. And that's, of course, the entire simulator deciding it wants to choose violence on me. It's a common side effect of the flight sim world. Okay. Yep, of course. FPS, who needs that, right? Of course, our anchor light there. Everything else should be good to go for us here, so make sure that is set where it needs to be. So today, we're heading out, as I mentioned, to a couple of stops along the route here. Now, if I go back to our correct thing, we're flying out here, which will be from all the way over here. Now, this scenery, the Everglades Fantasy, gives us scenery in this entire area here. All of here. We're heading first to New Turkey Key campsite to drop off some supplies, up river here to the North River Chicky, and then down to our Flamingo Seaplane base. Should be nice and easy. It should be a real good time for us, and I do love when the sim is being extra special. Now, fun fact, did you know that the Albatross can do this? We got manual. Oh god. No, hi. I needed 3 FPS. Yes, it can go backwards. It can reverse pitch. Right, engine up to get us turning here. You know what? This is wonderful. I love this, so let's just fix all this before we go any further. Okay, so I fixed everything. I beat the simulator repeatedly, I called it horrible names, and it suddenly wants to behave itself. So we are all sorted. Wonderful. So guys, I was taxiing out here at the Everglades Air Park. It might be a little bit short for us, but we're going to make it work, because if then I can manage, it's a short takeoff. So, we'll get ourselves out here, get turned around, we'll take off south. We'll grab our supplies at the campsite first, and we'll drop supplies at the cabin. We're heading down to the marina at the very south. Should be a nice, short, sweet, and simple journey. Short and sweet, and no Sabrina Carpenter involved whatsoever. Okay. Some very confined taxiways here for a plane this size. But yes, reverse pitch, mechanical reverse pitch on these blades is actually very useful. Oh god, slow down please. Let's go right engine only to turn here, because it's not wanting to turn that tightly otherwise. There we go. Bellissimo. God, I just love seeing the fixed floats out there. I love seeing the radials on my wing. Ah, there's something about a big radial. Especially these big radials. Let's do this thing. Hey, at least it's water at the end of the runway, so if we go off the end, we'll just bounce. We'll skip like a stone. The glass still feels weird. I know you guys like glass cockpits. I don't, but you know what? It works. And we're away. This thing absolutely jumps into the sky. Those 1820s are a monster engine. No, they're not 1820s, are they? I believe. I might be wrong. Let me just check this out, because I think I'm right, but I'm not sure, and I want to make sure I'm right, so I look like an idiot. One-handed cell phone usage. Don't text and fly. Okay? Do not text or fly. Specifications of the HU-16 Bravo. Yeah, I was right. 1820s, right? 1820 Cyclones. Putting out 1,425 horsepower apiece. The 1820, my favourite engine, of course. The DC-3 has them. 3-bladed Hamilton standards. We can fly this thing at about 205 knots max speed. Cruise is 108, which is for the economy duration cruise. And a stall speed of 64, so 20, and that's a, you ready for this? 2,500 nautical mile range. Yeah, she's a patrol boat. That's what her whole job is. So let's get this set properly now. And we'll be descending fairly soon, actually, here. Because that is what we're looking for over there. So let's get the power back a little bit here, and I'll show you on our map exactly where we're going. Not very far at all. I just love that view. Sorry, that's weird. Why is there like a square around it? Because I'm sure that was like, I'm sure that was actually, I'm very confused. I'm going to do a test real quick. Excuse me a second. Don't mind me. I'm just doing a test. This is for science. Don't try this at home. I'm positive that doesn't look like that when it stopped. Oh, what do you know? It does. It actually looks like that when it stopped. I could have sworn it didn't have that coney thing on the end of it. I could have sworn it didn't. Apparently it does. Well, there you go. That's my fault, I guess. Look at this monster. It doesn't even care that I have one engine. In fact, screw this. We're carrying on to our waypoint with one engine. Why not? To make our life more difficult. Let's give us a bit more power here. We'll stick a notch of... no, we'll leave it like that for now. So we'll put one notch of flaps in just to give us a bit of extra grunt here. And we'll check our map, because I need to work out where I am. We're about halfway out. We're doing this with one engine, which is absolutely fine by me. Should I do a single engine approach and landing in a seaplane? Why not? We'll just pretend this one's just not doing anything much relevant. We'll fix it once we're on the water. Someone forgot to change a spark plug. I like a challenge. Challenges are fun. And she's honestly very mild right now. Like, little bit of pull, but really not a lot. No, behaving just fine. Go to climb power on that right engine just to give me some extra grunt here. RPM was going wild there. Let's keep that where it needs to be. Okay, now she's starting to pull me a bit more. A little bit more rudder here. Let's just stick the nose where it needs to be. So yes, this is the beautiful Everglades here of Florida. Let's get rid of the map so we can actually see what we're doing. One thing I'm definitely still miffed about with 24 is how the LOD kind of blurts out the second you kind of get beyond a certain distance. Closer it looks fantastic, but for some reason it pops the LOD super hard at even reasonably distances. I don't know. Some bits look fantastic, some bits then suddenly look bad. Like this altitude just looks like... I don't know. It's like it's trying so very hard to be good, but then failing miserably at it. Like, there are times where the simulator looks phenomenal, and other times where it just looks like poo. And I don't have a bad computer, which is what absolutely vexes me. Now, I'm looking for New Turkey Key, which is a little island separated into two. I think it's this bit ahead of us over here. Over there. And judging by this, that is about correct, because we've got the two rivers forking in together here. One there, one there. Which are these bits here, separating the island off there. And that would mean this is just past there. So we've got the big island, then it's the small, and then the two single pieces. So that would be the big, small, and two single pieces. That'll be us over there. Okay, nice and easy. Nice and easy. And we're still rocking along on one motor. Now, Captain Whiskers may not be here with us still in physical form, because obviously we still haven't got the ability to do that in the sim. I long for the day when that's possible again, because I want Captain Whiskers back in my plane with me, but for now... Hi, Captain Whiskers! Yeah. You know, it's much less jarring when I turn my head around to meow away from the microphone, so it doesn't seem like it's me doing both voices. It's worse when I have my head tracking turned on and you watch me go turn away from the microphone to do it. Whoopsie. Okay, that's us over there. Make sure that's back at idle. Okay. Looking out now for what we're here for. I see it dead ahead, so I'm going to bring our power back now to idle. Oh god, no, I don't want it to reverse. That's bad. Back to idle. Just idle, thank you. More than enough. And she's already dropping like a brick, so I'm going to hold the nose here and just let her settle. This is right off our nose here. Let it drift to the right here rather than go for the channel. Although, you know what? We'll go for the channel. This is probably a very dumb idea to sideslope an aircraft with one engine. Especially into the side of the dead engine. Flaps are down for landing. Power's idled out, so we should be fairly neutral. Speed's coming down. There's our jetty over there for the key. Come on, old girl, we can do this. This is essentially my amphibious DC-3. Just saying that now. In terms of planes I love in the sim, this has joined the list. And I will be giving it a Angel Aviation livery at some point. Nose is getting too low. Nose is getting too low. Oof, there we go. There we go. The old girl's on the ground. Now let's see if we can actually turn around here. Not a chance, not with one engine. Right, I best get this thing operational again. Let's give us some fuel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Bingo. There we go. That's it, girl. That's it. Now, is that our jetty over there? Yes, it is. Fantastic. She's a bit of a pig to navigate here, but it's all with steering, because this is doing nothing. Just using asymmetric thrust from the engines to kind of, well, trying not to navigate so badly. There's a little bit of effect from the rudder. Like, the rudder's giving us a tiny bit of something in here, but it's not a lot. I need to give a little bit more to the right there. Yeah, so the pitch increase is not doing a ton. There we go. Nice and easy towards here. Yeah, she's definitely an animal to taxi, but it's not too bad in the end. Obviously, I'd love to have something with a water rudder. Things like the Dornier Sea Star has a water rudder functionality, because it's both its engines are in line, of course. Things like the Caravan do, pontoon planes tend to, because they need them. The Twin Otter does not, of course, that operates on the same principle as this. Differential thrust. Not asymmetric thrust, differential thrust. Let's get this old slug moving. Flaps all coming up here. Now we should drift over here nicely, but this is flight sim, nothing works that simply. Come on, let's drift over here a little bit more. Come on, a little bit more. Switch the nose around. And idle it out. A little bit of adjustment, counter, there we go. Boom. Now we should just gently bump into this with the bow line being caught. But we're not going to because it's transparent, of course. It's not real, it doesn't exist. But we should stop here. So whilst we're here, I'm going to very quickly hop out and pretend I'm on the jetty. See? We didn't get this close to it. We're not chopping the entire thing to pieces like so much firewood right now. It's fine. I'm just walking on water because I can. A bit like the jetty, I'm holy. If this was real life, you would not catch me in here. But this is super cool. Look at the mangroves and the grass. This is super neat. Like, I have to say, impressively neat that we get this kind of world. There'd be so many nope ropes and murder logs around here, I would not want anything to do with this. Right, let's get back in this before it decides it wants to murder a tree. In fact, we'll get ourselves out of here now. That's the spirit. I'll bring my right engine to forward. And let's do a donut, shall we? Left in full reverse, right in forward. And we get to turn on the spot. See? Nice. Right. Okay, we're good to go. We're out of here. Okay. Bring that to neutral. Speed's coming up good. And we are away. This thing's a monster, it really is. It's got so much power. The takeoff is so beautiful. Okay, let's get ourselves turning now. We're on our way to North River Chicky. So our second and final stop before our Final destination. And this should be us here. Okay. The flaps coming up. She can sustain her flaps down at very reasonably high speeds because, well, for this aircraft I should say, up to around 130, 140, 50 knots or so, giving it the ability to really extend its float at lower speeds. In fact, you might put the flaps down just to give it a little extra lift running at that low 109 knot speed, just to help it bite. I've got to say, this is a gorgeous interior of a plane. Really is lovely. I also have the 4 seats up in the cabin here, obviously, to be navigators and other roles if this was a military aircraft. Navigators, radio operators in these positions, but here you've just got people who can sit in the positions as crew or passengers. You've also got the ones in the back. Love it. Now, give them credit. This with turboprops would be insane. But even just with radials, the modernised version's kind of cool. As much as I do like the retro one, of course. What I like is that both versions have at least mod cons in them. They're both retro and modern versions operating today, rather than operating in their respective times. So the retro one has got some modern nav systems in it, which in this day and age really helps. Go. No problem. Yeah, that view does not get old. Big old engine. I wonder if that can almost around the prop spinner is something to do with it being on water. Is it to try and deflect something away or change how something behaves? As the air maybe hits the front of that, it's pushing the air somewhere else? Because it seems like an odd thing to have. It really does. So over the glades themselves now. As we get on in here to where it's a little swampy. All these rivers leading inland. So as you can tell, we are here. Centre that on the aircraft. And we'll be heading across this bulk here of the actual Everglades themselves towards our destination on the river. So should be fairly simple for us. Like I said earlier, Florida is not a place I've actually really flown before or considered flying, so it was great to actually have this scenery as an option. I found this one on flightsim.to. Then the creator actually emailed me afterwards saying, hey, have you seen this? Maybe you'd like to try it. And he watches my videos. I thought, I actually already downloaded it. And I had planned to fly this sooner, but I got caught up with other things and work and things happening, so I didn't get a chance to sooner. And if you've not checked this out, I absolutely fully encourage you to do so, because even the 172, the Super Cubs, the Beaver, Caravan, all great aeroplanes to come and explore these places with and go to some of these cabins. Because it's wonderful to have options like more seaplane terminals and cabins in British Columbia and Alaska. But having the same options down here gives a really different kind of flying. Because this is not, you know, a cabin on a little lake here in Alaska. It's the glades, it's mangroves, it's swamps. It's a very different kind of flying. And it's super fun. I'm still disappointed there's not as much sound difference from opening these. There's a bit. But not a lot. I guess it's something. I wonder. Ah, you want me to do stupid things. Now, in theory, I should be able to use those for unfeathering and reversing. But I guess I can pull too. Huh. Everything is well and good up there. Let's make sure we're flying straight and level here. A little bit inland. Let's turn more to the due south. Yeah, we're looking good here. Now we'll hit the big basin of water here, which is that up ahead of us. It should be about halfway along its coastline. We turn north. So we're going to have two rivers coming off the north of this lake. So it's the second one, and this is branch off the second one. See? Right there. So it should be good. Should be relatively easy, one thinks. No, love this aeroplane. It's got the speed, it's got the performance, it's got the power, and it really does get off the ground very easily. So we're hitting a nice casual 162 right now, and we're not really trying. We're just below about what really would be cruise for a high cruise, if you will. And for a plane this big, radials, yeah, that's a really reasonable speed. Similar speeds to a DC-3 really, although a tiny bit slower realistically, given that monster's just super streamlined. I love looking out my window, seeing a high wing, the engine above me and a float. It just looks right. It really does. So again, all this area, there are cabins and campsites all throughout all of this. And as I show you on the map before, tons of options to go to. It's always something fun to do. I have my animals turned on, so I'm hoping we don't come across any gators or nope ropes. I don't know if Asobo's added any, but if I come across a gator whilst I'm on foot in this sim, I'm going to run away, screaming. Like a little girl. And I will not cry. Well, I will cry. But I will not be sad about it, because I am terrified of murderlogs, but specifically nope ropes. Danger noodles and nope ropes are my nemesis. I cannot... Hell, I can't play video games with them in. Like, if I can't go into those areas. Like, I am super careful in Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online in the areas where snakes exist, because I'm terrified of them. Like, the amount of times I've had one jump out at me and bite me in the game, and it horrifies me because I'm so scared of them as a creature. I can't stand them. Ah! It's irrational. I'm feeling like I'm shivering already just talking about it, so... there you go. And one of Avangel's fears is nope ropes. I was at a Comic-Con in Dublin a whole bunch of years ago now, and there was one in a gaming area, the handler, and you could handle it, etc, etc. And I couldn't go near it. Yeah, couldn't go near that area. I had to stay away from the entire thing. Couldn't do it. Terrified me. Scared me silly. Okay. So I'm seeing these rivers reaching up. Here's the first one. And there's the second one. There's our fork. So our fork should be about there, if I'm judging this correctly. Looking at the map, that is what we're looking for. Because we've got this first river, second river, and that kind of Y that comes down here to the river that leads there, or that breaks off this smaller lake. So pull out our power. It's funny how quickly she loses speed, this old beast. Props are full fine, mixtures are full rich, props, throttles are idle. Gear is confirmed up. Can confirm gear is up. It is indeed. Now she does like to have a bit of power in here to kind of keep some control over the tail. Just let this down a little bit. Still slowing, I'll give it a notch of flaps here. There we go. So let this burn down. Looking good. Little trim, hold the nose up. Okay. Yeah, we're bang on target. Should be on the left-hand side of this, I think. Landing flaps. Okay. Should get a recce pass here. In fact, there's the jetty in front of us right now. So we'll swing around, we'll land south towards that. And there's the cabin. We'll drop the supplies and we're on our way back off to our layover destination. This will be slightly tighter because we're very confined in where we can actually operate this. We're a little bit big, really, for what we're doing here. We're very big for what we're doing here. Come on, turn around in space. I don't think this is going to be big enough for me to turn around here. Or the space isn't big enough. That's the way I've got to go in. Okay. Okay. This is going to be bold, I think. This is about to get really bold. Really bold. Come on, reverses. Kick in. Really bold. Oh, okay. 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 This thing can skate if she wants to. Woo. Everglades Express is right here, baby. Ooh. That is not a bad job. Not a bad job indeed. No, stop. Oh, well, we're playing stop and start again. Okay, let's get ourselves turned around, shall we? We'll throw Kevin out the hatch to go and do the delivery. Turning us around. It's taking a second. Screw a 3-point turn, we can do a 1-point turn. With a lot of noise. Full reverse on left, full forward on right. Or half throttle on right at least. Okay. Right. We'd have thrown a line here. We'd have tied up. We'd have thrown the supplies out there. Perfect. I know I can't physically stop this thing right now, so we're going to do this very quickly. Totally on the dock. Totally on the dock, see? Yeah, we're taking the packages. It's like Everglades Amazon. This is where someone's been murdered. Oh, a canoe. Somebody definitely got murdered up in here. This is a murder hobo shack if ever I've seen one. What was that thump I just heard? Right, time to get back to the plane before we get out of here. Walking on water! Okay. Right, let's get the heck out of here, shall we? Okay, we'll go to 1-notch flaps there. I think this is going to be very, very bold, but I think I can get it steering once we do, so... I'm going to go to full power here. Or more on the right than the left, and we're going to go. Okay, nose down, let's get it stepping. Let's pull left prop out a little bit to get us to turn sharply. Full power now. Okay, we're full power, we're coming up to speed, and I'm going to start encouraging her from the... Yes! Haha! The monster flies. Woohoo! Yeah, this is basically bush flying for an amphibian this size. This is some DuckTales level shenanigans right here. Having to throttle back to steer this thing tightly in the river confines to stop us from slamming into one of the bends. That's when you know it's a bit too small for a plane like this. Yeah, we're a little bit on the large side. Baby girl, don't need a diet. Baby girl's just the right size. Every time I fly this plane, I love it more and more. Okay. Yeah, I find it really hard to find reasons not to, because it's just fantastic. So now we head south for Flamingo, which isn't far. It's fair. You can see where the sea gonna kicks in there, and that'll be us here. And our destination. We'll land here. We'll taxi into the harbour up here, and we are done. Dunzell, Washington. Reference any kind of landmarks here. Pass over 3 lakes, head for the middle one, basically. It's easy enough to do. Now, an aeroplane for me that truly, and I still have flaps in, but the speed's low enough that it didn't matter. An aeroplane that really does it for me is when I could really kind of feel like I'm strapping it on and taking it flying. And it feels weird to describe it that way, but aviators know what I mean when it says you strap on an airplane. When you feel so in control of it, you feel so in charge of the controls, that it feels like you've strapped it on like a backpack, rather than getting in it and flying it. I don't feel like I'm controlling this as a separate thing. It's like the DC-3 for me. Like, I feel like I strap it on and go to work, right? And I know it's a sim, but the flight model just feels right. It feels like I know how it behaves. But then again, I kind of know how these engines work, so I guess I'm used to the engine performance of an aircraft of this weight, so maybe it's that feeling of similarly heavy aircraft with the same 1820 engines. It just gives me that familiarity. There's our middle lake there. Of the 3. So we'll get our nose down here, pull our power. There we go. And she's a beauty, isn't she? Look at this thing. Graceful beauty. I love seaplanes. Float planes and seaplanes, but especially the Grummins have always been a favourite. I remember working on the Mallard we did for FSX, and I loved that thing so much. Mallard being the slightly smaller version of this being bigger. The Albatross. So you had the Widgeon, the Goose, the Mallard, and the Albatross. Boy, I put some flight times into that one, but you know what? Chalk livery for this would be fantastic. I'm not sure why we don't actually have chalk liveries for them already. There's the town. Pull the power out here. Start descending towards this. I'd imagine doing some work for Pablo out here in the Everglades, doing some smuggling amongst the Everglades. We'll have to see how that goes in the future. You know what? Maybe think about actually. Give me some ideas in the comments, guys. I want to do some smuggling missions, but let's make them good smuggling missions. What missions, where, can I undertake with the talents I have developed working for Pablo and his, home delivery grocery service? Give me a mission theme for somewhere in the world for a good reason. For the good guys. Yeah? For the good guys, not the bad guys. For the good guys. It has to be for a good reason. Give me a place to go from and a place I gotta get to. Let's do some scud running. Let's do some Pablo-esque adventure missions, but for a good reason. Throw some ideas in the comments. We'll see what we can do. Am I starting to get a little bit hairy with this thing now? Yes, we are. Do I mind? No. I'm starting to get comfortable with this thing now. Oh, that's an antenna. Should be careful about that. There's the marina. Town and the mast, and the marina's down there. Should make it in there. Hey, folks, we're waking you up. Surprise! Okay, we'll fly a little bit, we'll just spin around, we'll bring her in. Okie dokie. I'm not sure what it is, but the water's getting not glassy, but very kind of hard to see as a surface, and I don't like that about it. It looks too milky and plain. I'm not sure what's doing that. Let's test something really quick. Could be time of day. Something like that. It's not helping, at least. Right, there we are. There's the mast. Powers to idle. Props to full fine. Gear is confirmed up. Confirmed up. Notch 1 flaps. Notch 2 flaps. Turn her in. Okay. Aim to the left of the little islet there. Okay, let's let it come down now. Nice and easy. Yeah, the light makes the water look very, very smooth. Way too early in the flight. Keep that nose attitude up. Slowing down nicely here. Full flaps. And she's just floating now. Keep that nose up. There we go. Use what little rudder authority I have here to turn us towards the inlet for the harbour. Let's pull my flaps up. Get her to sit into the water nice and heavy now. We're down on the starboard pontoon. It should be a simple matter now of a little bit of power. Controls aft. Just keep the nose up. And now we're fully onto throttle steering. Go. No, stop being so shifty. I feel like there's almost more spool up with these engines than there is with other pistons. It's weird, it feels turboproppy at times. There we go, there's a marker there. Okay, channel marker. It's quite shallow in here. Very shallow in here. Oh, hello. No, 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 no. This way. There's a jetty ahead of us. In fact, we'll just taxi out of the water here. Pretend it's a boat ramp. Okay, gears coming down. Oh, and with the transition to land waters just like FSX, you go plonk. Like that. There we go. Pop our stuff open and get out. Could open all the hatches and compartments of this thing. There we are. The big beast. A beautiful plane that flies amazingly well. And some pretty epically cool scenery. It's really given us some fun stuff to do. I'll definitely be back here and doing some runs in probably some smaller aircraft where we aren't having to quite try and pull Avangel level shenanigans to get the Albatross in and out of those locations. Could have been pick anything bigger, isn't it? Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.